Hi, so this is my first video on YouTube in a long time. My name is Sarah Van Rijsewijk. I am the owner of Natural Peace Living. I am a certified life coach, Reiki practitioner, and tarot advisor. So I'm really glad you guys are here today taking a look at my video. This is, like I said, I've been on YouTube for years and kind of fell off the boat. And actually most of my work now I focus on Facebook, but I've been really feeling like I need to get in front of YouTube people again. So here we are today. You guys are going to learn a little bit about me, about my practice called Natural Peace Living, some of my background, and now we're also going to do a reading today. So I have some cards in front of me, obviously. We're just going to do a 3-card spread with a conclusion card. And then pull an oracle for the end of everything. So just a little bit of background about myself. Welcome to my lovely little comfy office. My name is Sarah Van Rijsewijk. I am the owner of Natural Peace Living. I specialize in one-on-one life coaching, motivational, inspirational speaking. I do a lot of work with tarot and making tarot more of a practical, applicable, conscious kind of thing that you can use in your daily life. I'm a freelance writer. I'm a mother of 2. I'm happily married. I live in the Southern Adirondacks in upstate New York, but I do readings for people all over the world. So I've been doing this work for about 6 years. I've been reading tarot for about 5. Tarot actually it kind of fell into my lap and I ignored it for a while, and then it really became something that I just had to work with more. So I do these readings for anybody interested in them. If you'd ever like a reading, a personal reading, like I said, I can work with people across the globe. I can do Skype readings. I do stuff over Facebook. I do stuff over phone, over email, and everything is just as accurate as if you were sitting across the table from me. So yeah, I'm super happy you guys are here. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments or get in touch with me privately. My website information is naturalpeaceliving.com, and that gives all the information about me, kind of how I started down this road, what you can expect to learn with me, and me from you guys as well. I believe that a lot of this stuff in the field of self-help and wellness and spirituality, it's kind of a give and take. It's, you teaching me, me teaching you, and kind of everybody working together. So I'm glad you're here. I'll stop carrying on now, and we're going to do just a quick little reading here to kind of get you guys familiar with how I work, and I'm going to continue doing these readings and publishing stuff for you guys in the future. So with your subscribing, with you keeping in touch with me, that keeps me going and that keeps everything going. Please feel free to share this stuff. Feel free to get the word out to your friends. I really feel like what I'm doing, what the world of tarot and spirituality and wellness is doing, is trying to help people kind of wake up, kind of to see that there's more going on behind the scenes. I don't want this to be woo-woo. I don't want this to be weird, airy-fairy kind of stuff. I want you to see how practical these readings can be. Sometimes almost comically practical, sometimes almost like way too literal. How did you know? That kind of stuff. So my mindset says that if you're watching this video, it is for you. You will take something from this that will help you, that may help you with your communication with a friend, that may help you with what you're doing with your job or whatever. So the fact that you're here watching this, fantastic. Share it with others, spread the word. Together we can kind of get the taboo out of this stuff. So, okay, here we go. I'm also going to warn you guys, my shuffling skills are really terrible, but that's okay. That's something I'm working on. But yeah, so I have been reading tarot for about 5 years now. This will be my 5th year. I do a lot of work with my clients. Every time I work with a coaching client, tarot is incorporated unless there's a reason that they don't want it. But for the most part, everybody's really excited about that. I do parties for people. I have, people will open up their home to me and stick me in a room somewhere where they have wine and drinks and enjoy themselves, and I will read cards for their guests. So that's another cool option too. And I have met many people who are very new to tarot and new to the ideas and all that sort of stuff. And it's just a wonderful thing to have it be more of a like I said, to take the taboo out of it. So we're going to actually talk about the deck that I'm working out of today. This deck is called the Everyday Tarot, which I think is wildly appropriate. And the deck is created by Bridget Esselmont, who runs biddytarot.com. I have no affiliation with Bridget, but I just love her work. She has been a wonderful mentor over the internet for me and for my learning about tarot and understanding and using the cards in a more practical sort of way. So this deck, get a good look at these guys. Really inexpensive, nice little compact deck, if you will. And these are, like I said, this is the Everyday Tarot deck by Bridget Esselmont and biddytarot.com. So we're going to pull out of these guys. We're going to do 3 cards, past, current, and possible future. And then we're going to pull a conclusion card out of this deck. And then at the end, we are also going to pull an oracle card out of the Mystical Wisdom card deck, which is actually a deck that I purchased from my daughter Adeline for her 7th birthday. And I use this deck way more than she does, so don't tell her, but she's good with it. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut our deck into 3 piles, and I'm going to make sure I can see what you guys are seeing. Now the cards are going to be, I'm going to read them how they're facing me, and then I'm going to show you each card as it's facing me. And I do read cards how they fall. So if a card is reversed, we're going to read it reversed. We're going to get the information that comes upright and get what it means when it's reversed as well. Okay, so I've got everything cut. This is our past, current, possible, future. And I'm actually going to do something a little random today. We're going to pull out of the middle of this deck, or out of this stack, not dead middle, but, you know, middle-ish. So that's our past influence card. And then our current situation, right here in the middle in front of me. And then our possible future outcome. Now, I always say possible because as awesome as all of this stuff is, it's possible because it's not something that's set in stone. Your future is totally up to you. So what you take from this reading, apply it to your future. So if there's something in there we need to work on, then that's where the future card will come into play. So we're going to flip these guys with our past influence. Ooh, cool. Our current situation. And then our possible future outcome. Okay, so I can see, you guys can see these reversed. We're going to talk about them. I will give you each one, and each card is actually upright. So upright facing me. So what we're going to talk about here, our first card, is our 8 of Cups card. So the 8 of Cups in tarot as a past influence card, this card is saying, usually when I see this card, your cups are your emotions and your feelings and your sensitivities, your intuition, how you feel is always what's going to come out with a cup card. And the 8 of Cups is about being in a place where we feel like we need to kind of walk away from something. So we have something that's bothering us or something that we've just been trying to think about over and over. And the feeling we feel right now is that we need some space from it. I kind of look at this card as like, it doesn't have to be like a permanent leave. It doesn't have to be I walk away from a relationship that I've had for 20 years or something like that. It's just really plugging that we need some space. That what we feel right now, we can't really figure out how we feel. We can't really process how we feel because we're so in it right now. So the best thing we can do is to take some space from it and to get away from it for a little while. My mom always tells me when she was raising me and my sister that she would go to CVS and just wander around the drugstore and then come home after an hour or so where she had some time for herself. So I always think of that when I think of this card. Take some time for yourself. Give yourself a break because if you're in the middle of something that's really heavy right now, you need to take some space from it. And it's going to play really well into our next card. So our past influence, where we're coming from, we need to take some space. We need to get some distance between us and what we're seeing in this situation. We need to just kind of process things on our own. It's not something we can necessarily do when we're in the thick of it. So the best thing we can do is to take some space for an hour or a day or a week or a month, whatever it happens to be, or longer, but to give yourself some space. Okay, so hopefully you guys are with me so far. And then our current situation, playing off of that card very nicely, is our Hermit card. So the Hermit card is what is known as a major arcana card in tarot. So if you look up major arcana cards, there are 22 of them. The majors are all about our life lessons. So when these guys come in, which we actually have 2 in this reading, the major arcana cards are very heavy. because there's something that we really need to grasp in this lesson, where our Eight of Cups card was talking more about like a situation or an experience or something that prompted us. This prompted us to move into a place where we're really in more of a life lesson. So the Hermit card is all about looking within. I love this card because it talks about everything that we need to do as far as like spirituality goes and self-reflection. Wellness, our own well-being is very heavily reliant on the Hermit card. It says that when you understand who you are, when you understand what's going on within yourself, you're going to understand why things are happening the way they're happening around you. So I like to see this card as like the take a break and meditate kind of card. Like you are looking around you at your experiences for validation. You're looking to the outside world to tell you who you are, and that's not who you are. The Hermit understands that, again, we have this like solo journey, take some space for a little while card in the past, getting us up to where we're at right now, which this is a major life lesson. You can't do this with somebody. It's not, I'm not saying like, you know, leave your partner or something like that. I'm saying the work that you need to do is work for yourself. It's work on yourself. It's understanding yourself. So the Hermit is really plugging, take that time and understand who you are, understand what you believe, understand what you think, how you think, what do you think about yourself. When the Hermit does that work, that's what this card is really about. Then he understands why everything is happening around him. I always work with people, a lot of it is based on the attraction principles. So what you put out vibrationally, emotionally, from your thought processes, all of those sort of things create vibrations, if you will. This is science, that everything in our environment is vibrating. So hold on a second, we're gonna just take a quick break. Okay, sorry. So I was choking. So again, our Hermit card, we were just talking how everything is all about our vibration. Our vibration comes from our emotional state. Our emotions come from our mental state. So if we're thinking things that are uplifting and positive and peaceful, we feel uplifted and positive and peaceful. If we're thinking things that are critical or analytical, or we're struggling or we're self-defeating or something along those lines, then we're going to feel that as well. And then we're going to be vibrating at that level. So what the Hermit card is saying is that when you understand what you're doing inside, when you understand yourself inside, then you understand how your thought processes are creating your emotions and how your emotions are creating your experience. So if you get a good look at this guy, in the lantern, he's got the little star. I always like to look at this like when you get what's going on internally by doing the Hermit legwork, then everything will light up around you. So your world will make sense to you. You'll be able to see things that you couldn't see before because you understand who is showing up to that. So this is a really powerful, really awesome card right here in the middle. And this is literally what I work with people on, is to help them understand, what are you thinking? What do you think about yourself? What do you think about your job? What do you think about your life? Do you want better? Most of us do want something better. Do you think you can have that? Do you think that you are worthy of that? Do you think you're a good person? All of these sort of things. What we're thinking in our mind as what we're feeling in our body, and what we're literally putting out to the universe to respond to, from attraction, from vibration, from all of those fields. The planets are spinning in response to each other. Everything is happening on a vibratory level. We can't see it, but energy is everywhere. It's in the table, it's in my coffee, it's in the window outside with the dog on the floor. It's everywhere. Everything is vibrating. So everything is coming to us from our stance of understanding, you know, what are we thinking? What are we doing? What are we doing in our head? And how to kind of work from that. So really cool card in the middle, guys. So then the next card, and this is going to play really well into where we just were with our Hermit, is the Hierophant card. So the Hierophant is another major arcana card, another big life lesson card. And this is going to talk about lots of different stuff. This card is about so many different things. It's like our teacher card. It could be our teacher from church. It could be our teachers in school. It could be our teachers from our from our traditions, from our parents, from what mommy and daddy taught us, from what grandma and grandpa taught us, from all of it. It's saying that we are the way we are because of the teachers that we've had. So I'm a teacher, and I have other people in my life who are teachers, my mom and dad, my husband, my children, my cat, all these people, all these things are teaching us. And the Hierophant card is saying that we're moving into a place where we're starting to ask some questions about our teachers, or we're starting to ask, why do I believe what I believe? Did I grow up in a household with conflicting parents, with people who are questioning each other and arguing all the time? Did I grow up in a highly religious environment where people told me if I didn't go to church, I was going to go to hell or something like that? But we're asking sort of the right questions, like, where did I get these belief systems, and do I want to keep these belief systems? We're at a place in time where it's really important to sort of start to call things out into the open and say, is this really the case? Are you really a bad person if you don't go to church on Sunday? Is this really the case? Is tarot really a bad thing? Or are we actually learning from all of this stuff that's happening around us? We have to start asking the questions. We have to start saying, okay, who's the teacher and what are they teaching? And what am I learning? And if I'm putting stuff in myself that I don't agree with, then that's why I'm getting what I'm getting around me. So it's going to be a really big deal to move into our future, our possible future outcome, from a place of really asking, what am I being taught? And do I agree with what I'm being taught? Do I need some new teachers? Do I need to start going into the New Age section at Barnes & Noble? What do I need to be looking for? Because we're starting to kind of, I'm actually surprised that this card isn't reversed, because when it's reversed, it's more rebellious. Like, I don't believe that anymore. But we're moving into a place where we're starting to question the teachers. It's a good thing. My husband used to question all of his teachers too, and they hated it. So, but he's always curious. He's always asking questions. He's always playing devil's advocate. So we're moving into that place, guys. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card here, and I always like to pull from the middle of the deck because it feels more, like cool and random. So we're going to just go, how about like right here-ish. And this is going to be our conclusion card for this lovely first reading in 3 years. So I used to do these readings, like I said, on I was working on YouTube for a bit. You can go back through my channel and see some of my older stuff from 2017, I think. So I used to do these readings more often, but I have leaned more in the direction of Facebook Live. But now I want to be more in front of the YouTube audience because there's so many awesome people out there. So we're going to do our last card, our conclusion. Oh, cool. Awesome. Okay, so we have Strength here. Look at her. She's lovely. Strength is another major life lesson card, another major arcana. So this reading is like full of really big, important, heavy, but good things. I love the Strength card because it's talking about everything we've just talked about. Strength is all about not your muscles, not what you can do at the gym, not, I can carry my 40-pound child up a hill and put her down on her snowboard and I'm strong. I can do that, but your strength comes from the strength in your head and the strength in your thoughts. So if you get a good look, she's got the infinity sign up in her hairpiece there, because you know what? You can think anything you want to think. And we forget that. So strength is all about the strength you have in your mind. It's all about what you are putting in your head. It's about the idea that you can choose anything in the world to think. And if you think something, it causes the feeling. And what you feel is what you attract. So if you're thinking thoughts that are diminishing yourself, if you're thinking judgmental of other people, if you're thinking questioning and analyzing and being critical, and if you're doing all of those things, then you're having a really difficult time around you, because you're feeling that, and you're feeling like there's no truth, or there's no one honest, or there's blah blah blah, all these uncomfortable things because of your thinking. If, however, you're here and you're listening to my words and what I've been doing for the past few years and what I've been learning for myself for the past few years, if you're thinking empowered, then you feel empowered. That's why Wonder Woman is over there on the wall. empowered thoughts, hopeful, optimistic. I can do this. There's no reason. I'm just as worthy as the next guy, as the next lady, as the next whoever. If you think that and you feel that, then you attract that. So strength is really saying that you have the choice, guys. Like, you can choose to take yourself down, you can choose to diminish yourself, or you can choose to bring yourself up, or you can choose to realize that as wonderful as some of the things in the world are, they are there for you, and they're there for your neighbor, and they're there for your best friend, and they're there for the strangers or the lucky people who make it. There's no such thing as luck. Luck is all about what there's no such thing as luck. It's all about what we think. It's all about what we believe. If you believe you're worthy, then you're worthy. If you listen to the peanut gallery, then they're going to take you down. Nobody has anything else to do with this. It's all about you, and it's all about what you're putting in your head. So this is just an awesome spread. I'm super excited. I'm glad that you guys are here with me today to kind of go through this. So I'm going to pull one last card, and these cards are out of the Mystical Wisdom deck. So I just love this deck. These are oracle cards that I got for my little one for her birthday. And they're really good. Like I said, they're beautiful cards for anybody, but they're really great for little ones because they're super pretty, and they just kind of open things up for people. So oracle cards are a bit different than tarot. They're way different than tarot. Tarot has to kind of follow guidelines for what is included in it. Your 4 suits and your 22 major arcana cards. The oracle cards, however, can, I believe, be any number of cards. And this deck, I believe, let's see, I think it's like 44 cards or something along those lines. But these are just, they have different messages on them. So it's nice. It's a nice thing to, like, if you want to buy an oracle deck, you know, you can pull randomly every morning and kind of give yourself something like an intention for your day. So I really like these cards, and they're very gentle, and I think they're really cool. And I have a couple different decks that I'm going to be working out of as we continue forward. So this deck I'm going to pull out of the middle again. And we are going to get a translation for whoever we've pulled today. Oh, look at this. I've honestly never seen this card. So this says, this is the Animal Bond card. So this is to stand up for all animals. So I'm just going to read out of the book really quick, because these cards, as much as I know what I'm doing with my tarot cards, I've memorized them in and out, front and back. The oracle cards, I don't know, I don't have them memorized. So we're going to get the interpretation out of this card. And you guys can enjoy the illustration. I know it's backwards, but so you have a special relationship with animals. The world needs you to stand up and have a voice for all animals on the planet. Help protect the wildlife and rescue animals when you can. Give a donation or get involved online. Volunteers' spare time to shelters would also be greatly rewarding. This may be just the time for you to save a cat or a dog from the shelter and give it a loving home. The mantra for this card is, I share my love with animals and the world. I'm just going to elaborate on this a little bit because it's kind of funny. So my kitten, she's back here sleeping on the couch somewhere. You can't see her, but we've had her for about 7 months, and she's just a wonderful little addition. And honestly, when I'm home with my kids or when I'm home working during the day, I get so distracted by her. But, you know, it's something that, like, you should have animals around you. You should have them because animals are very unconditional. They don't have these expectations. My dog is over here laying on the floor, Luna, and my other dog is out in the kitchen laying on the floor. But it's just something that they are vibrating at a completely different level than we are. They're not up in their heads. They're not worrying about things. They're not stressed out. And when they are, it's usually in response to what their people are doing. So I absolutely agree with this card. If you don't have an animal, maybe consider, you know, spending time with some, or, you know, even looking at pictures of animals just makes you happy because they're always happy. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Again, this is Sarah Van Rijsewijk. I am the owner of Natural Peace Living, naturalpeaceliving.com. Feel free to check out my website. If you guys have any questions, just get in touch with me. And I'm going to actually pull 5 random people who are subscribers or commenters or anybody who has liked this video. I'm going to start pulling for free readings. So if you like the video, if you comment on the video nicely, please, and if you subscribe to my channel, I will put your name in a drawing and we'll have some readings given away. So the readings can be done anywhere in the world, like I said, usually over email or Skype or phone, and we'll do the same sort of reading, 4 cards and a conclusion. So thank you guys so much. I'm so happy you were here. If you have any questions, just let me know. This is Sarah. Take care, guys.